I can't believe it is now time for the last MBR of 2022. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today we are talking December's MBR, but before we get into that, make sure you're liking and subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Also, make sure you're checking the description box down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord, as well as links to all my social media. And guys, I have got a lot on my plate for December. December and the holidays in general are always just hectic and crazy, and I'm not making things any easier on myself because I put out a video like 2 months ago saying, hey, I need to calm down on my review copies and accepting arcs and stuff like that. I'm going to give you one guess on what I didn't do. So, I still got Indie Ink going on, and I've still got SPSFC, and yeah, so those are factoring very much into the next couple of months. And yeah, so I have got a stack of thick books, a lot of physical reading that I need to get done, and we're just going to try and see where these things lead to. But before we get into that, I just want to give a special thank you to my patrons. Thank you for helping me to pursue my passion. Your support constantly allows me to not only improve the channel, but also do these book hauls and upgrade equipment and things of that nature. So I just want to give a special thank you to the patrons. And now it is time to jump into the MBR. Let's see. Do you want to start with the physical or do the digital? Let's start physical so you've got some pretty books to look at first. Now, I put out a video kind of saying, hey, there's some series that have been on my shelves way too long. I need you guys to kind of help rank. And then I also gave it to my patrons this month, and they agreed. And so now it is time to read The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. My buddy Patrick loves this series. He loves R.J. Barker. And so I'm glad to finally have this on a TBR. My patrons want me to read this, and so it's time. It's happening. It is now. So we have got The Bone Ships. And I just love the way that these books look. Like, we've got this kind of nice parchment here, and then that red with that kind of scroll-like font, and then, of course, the line art that looks like it's like a vinyl block cutout that they used to make us do in, like, high school and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, look at that dragon. It's just so cool. So I'm excited to finally, see what this is all about. And then next up, I spoke of review copies, and guys, this one is, I believe the Kickstarter is getting ready to wrap up, but it is still probably currently live, and that is for Sewell, and that's by Jay Davis and Kay Grierson. This is a Kickstarter copy. This is, of course, the pre-release version, but I mean, just looking in, you can see that it's printed on this kind of nice photo paper. And I've decided to just fit it in for this month because we got these full color, just art maps and just illustrations, and I'm just loving this. And I want to get it read, and I want to show you some art. And there we go. So, look at that. That's just awesome. And the art is also done by the authors. It's got this nice sewn-in ribbon. So, I'm super excited for this, and I can't wait to see what Sewell is all about. All right. And then finishing up the first collation kind of cycle collection, we've got Seeds of Hope by Andrew D. Meredith. I love the way that Andrew D. Meredith writes. So, I'm expecting this to just be an absolute slam dunk. I mean, I'm pretty much going to read anything that Andrew puts out in the near future, or pretty much ever. I believe he wants this, I'm going to get the number wrong, but it was I think he was going to do 18 kind of these, but I think he's now collecting them into bind-ups and stuff like that to make more cohesive stories. But the first 3 are out, and I got to do a cover reveal for the next one. And guys, I'm just so excited for more collation and just more Andrew D. Meredith. All right, and then I bought this book last year, and I just couldn't quite fit it in. And because it's a Christmassy book, but it's also a horror book, you should kind of know where I'm going at here. We've got Joe Hill's Nosferatu. I have been meaning to get to this since, I literally bought this last year to read in December, and it got eked out. And then, it was January, and I'm sitting there holding the book going, I now have to wait until December in order to try and read this again, because, 'tis the season, right? And so this is going to be my first Joe Hill experience. My buddy Mike from Mike's Book Reviews kind of says that, while he may not hit the same highs as King, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And so I'm just very excited to finally give Nosferatu a try. All right, and then next up, I said I was going to read this last month, and then I just got a month behind, and I don't want to read more than one slog book in a month. And obviously, if I'm talking about the slog, I'm talking about Wheel of Time. So we've got Winter's Heart. I moved it a month because I started November with Path of Daggers, and I just didn't feel like fitting in Winter's Heart. So we're gonna do it this month. We're gonna give Perrin his whole redemption thing, and then we can move on into the the better parts of the story. Now I've got another review copy here, and guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this one. I keep ranting and I keep raving that people should be reading J.C.M. Byrne. And please, just give J.C.M. Byrne a try. He is fantastic. He writes great characters, very slice of the life of retired superhero, great fantasy and sci-fi elements. Of course, I'm talking about the third book in the Hybrid Helix, and that's Blood Reunion by J.C.M. Byrne. I believe this is another cover by Chris McGrath. Chris McGrath, and who does the covers for the Dresden Files. And just look at these covers. I mean, guys, I can't wait to get a hold of this. I am anticipating this is going to be another 5-star stellar read from J.C.M. Byrne. Please, if you ever listen to me, check this one out. Check out other ones that I talk about too, but, show J.C.M. Byrne some love, because, just Hybrid Helix is fantastic. Then my buddy Keon Ardelin dropped another book and sent me a review copy, and this is Mistlands, the 11th Cycle. Now, let's get in on this cover, and I want to try and, reduce the glare for you, but, just fantastic, beefy, but fantastic. This is supposedly a kind of Dark Souls kind of inspired tale. It's darker. My buddy Jordan's been kind of just feeding me tidbits about it. He's just like, oh, you're going to love this. There's some trigger warnings, or, there's some sexual assault. It's a darker tale. And so be aware of that going in. But man, he's it's so good. And so, I'm so excited because I loved the fantastically underwhelming Epic of a Dead Wizard and Average Bard, also by Keon Ardelin. And I can't wait to see him grow. Continue to grow as an author, I should say. But yes, I'm excited for this one. And then finally, the last physical read that I've got going on, yes. So every month, one of my patrons gets to just pick out a book from my TBR, and it jumps straight to the top of the line, no matter what. It could just be any book. I could have no intention of reading this book for 3 years, and if it gets selected, it jumps straight to the top of the line. And so this month, my buddy Mendelin chose Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. And I know Alan loved this one last year, and the sequel's getting ready to come out. So again, perfect timing, great selection. I've heard this is kind of got a little bit in common with the Great Coats, but with a different kind of setup and structure and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm super excited. I can't wait. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cover. All right, so those are all the physical books that I am kind of be reading out of. So then I've got kind of an announcement. I am going to be taking part in a Malazan read-along. I'm coming back to Malazan. My buddy Mike from Mike's Book Reviews kind of started a Malazan read-along last year, and I kind of copped out at the third book. For some reason, something wasn't working for me. I am ready to give Malazan another go, and we are starting here in December, and that is going to be me, Bryce from Shelf Centered. I love Bryce. We've got Hannah Blackwell. We've got Kay from Kay's Hidden Shelf, and we've also got, I believe, Kaylee Books is how that's pronounced, and I'll have their channels linked down below, obviously, if you want to check them out. But we are going to basically be doing one a month, which is very ambitious. We're going to see if I can stick with it. I'm at least going to start with Gardens of the Moon and see if I have a better experience this time through. Then I'm currently judging 2 separate competitions. We've got Indie Ink over here, and then we've got SPSFC over here. So with my Indie Ink reads, I'm going to be doing Cleansing Rain by Holly Ash, and this is just up for numerous awards. And then I've also got In Solitude's Shadow by David Green. So I'm going to be doing both of those. Those are both audio, because I'm judging for the audio aspect over here on Indie Ink. And then on SPSFC, I'm going to be doing Melody by David Strangeland and The Trellis by Jules Contour. And so it's a very ambitious TBR. I don't know if I'm going to get it all read. I'm going to try. I am going to absolutely try to get this all read. But, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. We will just have to see what happens. That's it, guys. That's all I've really got here for you. Please let me know what you intend to read to close out 2022. And as always, guys, till next time, peace out. stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.